Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Let me welcome you to our briefing. Let me at the outset refer to the continuing grave human rights and humanitarian situation in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The unabated wanton state terrorism by the Indian occupation forces has resulted in martyrdom of 3 more young Kashmiris in fake encounters in Shopian and Islamabad districts of IIOJK. This brings the total extrajudicial killings since 5th August 2019 to 670 and since 1st January 2022 to 150. Today, the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir is the world's most heavily militarized zone, which has in fact been turned into the world's largest prison, where people are not allowed to speak freely. The APHC leadership, youth, journalists, civil society and human rights defenders are jailed and silenced. This is unacceptable and condemnable situation. Pakistan strongly urges the international community to call upon India to end its gross and systematic violations of human rights in IIOJK, to revoke its illegal and unilateral actions since 5th August 2019, and free all political prisoners, including the true Kashmiri leaders. Let me reiterate that a just, peaceful resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute in accordance with the relevant UN Security Council resolutions and the wishes of the Kashmiri people is indispensable for lasting peace in the region. As you would have followed, the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif left for Samarkand this morning for a 2-day visit to attend the annual meeting of the Council of Heads of State of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Besides attending the SCO summit, the Prime Minister would hold bilateral meetings with other participating leaders on the sidelines. Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari and other ministers and high officials are part of the delegation. SCO is a major trans-regional organization spanning South and Central Asia. Since becoming its full member in 2017, Pakistan has contributed towards advancing the organization's core objectives through active participation in various SCO mechanisms and formats. Earlier last week, the Foreign Minister Bilawal addressed the high-level segment of the first United Nations Global Congress of Victims of Terrorism organized by the UN. He urged the international community to make protection and promotion of the rights of victims of terrorism a basic tenet of global efforts to promote peace and security. The Foreign Minister expressed solidarity with the victims of terrorism all over the world and paid special homage to the oppressed people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and Palestine, and emphasized the need to counter state terrorism, especially in cases of foreign occupation. On 9 September, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif visited the British High Commission in Islamabad to convey condolences on the demise of Queen Elizabeth II. He penned remarks in the condolence book and paid tribute to the services of the late Queen. Earlier, the Prime Minister also wrote a letter to the British Prime Minister conveying condolences for the royal family, the British government and the people. And Foreign Minister Bilawal also visited the UK High Commission and signed the condolence book, conveying profound sympathies on passing of the late Queen. On 12 September, on behalf of the people and government of Pakistan, Prime Minister Sharif conveyed sincere good wishes to His Majesty King Charles III on his accession to the throne. Let me now turn to the flood response, the main challenge faced by Pakistan right now, with over 33 million of our compatriots affected by this unprecedented climate calamity. that has taken over 1,400 lives and injured more than 13,000 people. Besides huge damage to critical infrastructure and services, over 1.7 million houses have been damaged or destroyed, nearly 8,000 livestock have perished, and over 4 million acres of food crop have been lost. The impact on lives and livelihoods is enormous. It is evident that Pakistan has to face the brunt of this unprecedented climate-induced disaster despite our own minimal contribution to the global carbon footprint. So while our people are suffering from the direct consequences of climate change, it is clearly the shared responsibility of the international community to do their utmost to assist the millions of affectees return to normal lives and livelihoods in a sustainable manner. The colossal scale of this calamity, having stretched our resources to the limit, necessitated support from the international community for an effective and timely response. Efforts are underway to continue building upon the flash appeal and the stream of generous assistance being provided by so many of our partners for rescue and relief operations while preparing for the subsequent phase of rehabilitation and reconstruction that would require sustained and massive support from the global community. The damages are expected to run into tens of billions of dollars. The visit of UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres was instrumental not only to manifest international solidarity with the people of Pakistan, but to highlight the linkage of this catastrophe with climate change. The two-day visit comprised high-level meetings, briefings on the situation, and field visits involving the Secretary General's interactions with displaced people, first responders, UN workers, civil society, and media. The Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister accompanied the UN Secretary General to various flood-hit areas. Secretary General Guterres applauded efforts of the government and the people of Pakistan and called for massive and sustained support of the international community, not only for relief assistance but also for rehabilitation and climate-resilient reconstruction. He repeatedly emphasized that it was not just a matter of solidarity but a matter of justice, as countries like Pakistan, who have not contributed to climate change, are amongst the frontline countries impacted by its consequences. You would have followed other dignitaries also visiting Pakistan to show solidarity and support, including the Canadian Minister for International Development, Mr. Harjit Singh Sajjan, who called on the Prime Minister and also met the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. Canada expressed its commitment to support Pakistan in dealing with the aftermath of floods, including for climate-resilient rebuilding. Samantha Power, Administrator of USAID, also called on the Prime Minister as well as Foreign Minister Bilawal. The Foreign Minister welcomed US support and solidarity with the people of Pakistan and thanked USAID for providing assistance in the wake of floods. He stressed that the developed countries must step up their climate ambition, including towards the provision of predictable climate finance for mitigating the adverse impacts of climate change in the developing world. As part of the ongoing relief efforts as of today, more than 100 flights have been received from our international friends and partners carrying much needed assistance. The ongoing relief work and the transition to the rehabilitation and reconstruction phase are going to be the focus of our national efforts and international outreach in the coming weeks and months. This, together with climate change, will be among our top priorities, as you will see at the SCO and at the upcoming UNGA session in New York and beyond that, including the COP27 scheduled to be held in Egypt. Thank you.